Yo, it's your man ROCKCOBAIN. You're tuned in to Ultralit TV, hosted by Cobain.
Dramatic details, and this video is so chilling. So Operation Nightmare, that's what the Tulare County Sheriff dubbed this morning's early morning takedown that led to the arrest of two suspects who turned out to be known gang members.
Today, I would like to announce the arrest of 35-year-old Angel Uriarte of Goshen and 25-year-old Noah Beard of Massacre. The two suspects arrested today are validated Norteños.
Tulare County Sheriff there, Mike Boudreaux, says the two men now in custody are seen on this newly released surveillance video from the early morning of January 16th when they are accused of gunning down a family of 6. That included a 16-year-old mother and her 10-month-old baby. The video shows that mother, look at this, trying to escape with her baby boy. She drops him over the fence, then jumps another fence. But soon after, the sheriff says the 25-year-old suspect, you're just going to see him right there, guns down her and her baby in the middle of the street. The sheriff says the motive is not clear, but calls it a rivalry gang issue with the suspects known Norteños and some of the victims known Sureños.
The suspects and the victims have a long history of gang violence, heavily active in guns, gang violence, gun violence, and narcotics dealings.
The sheriff says the 35-year-old suspect, when approached this morning, engaged in a gun battle with officers. That suspect was shot, taken to the hospital. He is expected to survive. No officers were hurt. Authorities say they have been surveilling these two men 24/7 for 10 days after their statewide investigation led them to them. And just to give you an idea of the scope of this investigation, as part of today's Operation Nightmare, the sheriff says 8 prison cells and 16 inmates linked to the Nuestra Familia gang network were also searched at various prisons. The sheriff says the original scene in Goshen is still not clear. They are still collecting thousands of pieces of evidence.
Yo, 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 welcome back to another episode of the ROCKCOBAIN Show, and I am ROCKCOBAIN. On today's episode, we're going to talk about 2 gang members that were arrested in the fatal shooting of a family of 6. 2 gang members were arrested early Friday in the January massacre of 6 people, including a baby at a Central California home associated with an ongoing gang rivalry. Noah David Beard, age 25, and Angel Uriarte, age 35, was taken into custody. One suspect was wounded in a shootout with federal agents, but was stable and expected to survive. The suspect and members of the family have long-standing ties in a gang rivalry, but the motive for this specific shooting is not clear. The district attorney's office charged both suspects with 6 counts of murder and other crimes. They face a potential sentence of the death penalty or life in prison without parole. The 6 victims included a teenage mother and her 10-month-old baby. Authorities said both suspects had been under around-the-clock surveillance since January 23rd in a massive investigation that culminated in Friday's arrest. This arrest involved 4 different law enforcement agencies. Search warrants were served in not only Goshen, but also at 5 different state prisons that included the cells of supposed alleged Mexican cartel members. The prosecutor stated that sheriff's authorities waited until they had DNA evidence to make the arrests to bolster the case. No further details of the evidence were provided. Both suspects had prior run-ins with the law. Uriarte is a known shooter. He was convicted in 2015 of assault with a firearm association with the ongoing some street gang activity. Beard had juvenile convictions with ongoing gang activity. Prosecutors said in the court documents, the victims were identified as Rosa Parraz, age 72, Eladio Parraz Jr., age 52, Jennifer Analla, age 49, Nycholas Parraz, age 19, Alissa Parraz, age 16, and Alissa's 10-month-old child, Nycholas Parraz. A surveillance video released by authorities, which I'm going to show in this video, showed the teen girl running outside and placing her baby on the other side of a gate, basically throwing her baby over the fence, trying to protect herself and the baby. She jumped over the fence herself, but she was seen by the gunman, and authorities said Beard shot and killed the teen and the baby, who were both found dead in the street and shot in the back of the head. This is a heinous, crazy crime, okay? A 10-month-old. Babies and girls are off limits. The Mexican cartel cartel don't give a nothing. They don't care. The sheriff stated that Alissa Parraz had just been awarded full custody of her son after he spent months in the foster care system. The two were just reunited on January 13th, 3 days before they were killed. So apparently right now it's going down in California with the Mexican cartel. To me, this sounds like some get back. I don't know. I looked on the young lady's TikTok and she has a couple videos in there stating when the federales or when the police find out who your parents are and your grandfather. So this family has ties to a lot of gang activity and gang rivalry. So it doesn't surprise me in these kind of things that it's related to something with a cartel. Usually taking out a large number of people at the same time, 6 people at the same time is a lot to take out at once, okay? So it would not surprise me if this is cartel or drug related or gang related. What I am sad for, I'm sad for the babies. I'm sad for the 16-year-old, the 19-year-old. I'm sad for anybody in this situation who was not related to this situation. This is crazy. I cannot wait to hear more of what they find out in the oncoming months for this. If you know anything about it, drop us some leads down in the comments. I want you guys to like, subscribe. If you agree with me, if you don't agree with me, it's fine. I don't care. Just drop something. It helps the algorithm. We praying for everybody involved. As I always say, neighborhood 6, we rolling.
Friendship turn to a bond, and that bond will never be broken. The love will never get lost. It was small, turn to a friendship turn to a bond, and that bond will never be broken. The love will never get lost.
I don't care. Bring out 40-inch hair. Bitches love to stare.
New details have just been released in a gruesome murder of a family in Central California. 2 gang members suspected in the massacre of 6 people have been arrested. Authorities also released this video today showing the desperate moments a mother tried to save her baby from the gunmen, throwing the 10-month-old over a fence and then running in the opposite direction. However, moments later, both were executed. The Tulare County Sheriff says it was not random and a dispute between rival gangs.
The suspects and the victims have a long history of gang violence, heavily active in guns, gang violence, gun violence, and narcotics dealings. However, having said that, the motive is not exactly clear at this point.
Tulare County investigators were able to track down the suspects from DNA left at the scene.
All right, we continue to track our breaking news. We've now learned more details about the suspects now in custody for that deadly shooting in Goshen.
Action News reporter Eliza Navarro joins us live from the Tulare County Sheriff's Office headquarters with more. Eliza.
Yeah, we learned a lot of details, major breakthroughs in this investigation that we've all been patiently waiting to learn about. We did see some video of the 16-year-old mother running out of her home with her 10-month-old baby. We heard the scanner audio, and of course we learned that 2 arrests have been made. Deputies executed 3 search warrants early this morning and arrested 2 gang members they say are responsible for the murders of the 6 people in Goshen, including, again, a 10-month-old baby and 16-year-old mother. Now, based on the evidence collected by detectives, it was determined 2 members of the family killed were Sureño gang members. The 2 suspects arrested today were Norteño gang members, and a motive is still unknown.
Today, I would like to announce the arrest of 35-year-old Angel Uriarte of Goshen and 25-year-old Noah Beard of Massacre.
During the searches, Uriarte of the suspects engaged in a gun battle with ATF agents who ended up shooting him. He is undergoing surgery but is expected to survive. Now, detectives were also able to create a timeline again of all of these killings and explain that to us. And both the DA and sheriff say that charges have been filed. And although 2 arrests have been made, there is still a long road to justice. And we'll break more of those details later on Action News live at 4. Live in Visalia, Eliza Navarro, ABC 30. Action News.
Flexing on your bitch ass, nigga. Flexing, counting this cash, nigga. Flexing, take your bitch fast, nigga. Flexing, use a bitch ass. Baby, your love is my drug, and I just can't get it enough. In fact, so faded by you and your touch, really can't get high enough. You got me feeling just like a fool for fucking around with you. And when I took the first hit of you, I really didn't have a clue. Tonight's the night, I just lay back and watch you ride. Tonight's the night, I just might hit it from behind. Tonight's the night, I might go a little tryna go half on a girl. I know what you do.